if you really want to go the the Hellcat Supercharger route, I just kind of froze up.
They didn't think we'd be doing this shit.
For real, but fuck it. Let's get it.
I used to pray to stay out of the cuffs that held my hands together. Now I just rock with the gang while we get the green together. Ho see the Cuban and they wanna link cause I got my bands together. I never trust no bitch, so ho ain't holding no hands together. I used to pray to stay out of the cuffs, I held my hands together. They told me I wouldn't be shit, so I got my shit together. Look at me now. She wanna ride and I wanna cruise, so we on the ship together. Fuck up a bag with a gang and we get it lit together. We mix up the lean and the Fanta together. We riding on street and the Phantom together. Better bad bitch, she straight from the
All right, guys, so welcome back. Thank you for hanging out, spending a few moments here with me. If you're new, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. Now, before we jump into the content, I just want to say a couple of things. Number one, if you are in the Florida area and you have a modified Mopar, shoot me a message on Instagram, RTLife_397. I'll put it up on the screen and just go over, some of the modifications that you have in place, what your availability is, and we'll get it up on the channel. I know a ton of people really like those kind of videos, and because it gives them really nice ideas for their ride. Number two is I want to thank all the channel members. A handful of you guys have been supporting this channel at the highest level for years now, and it's greatly appreciated. It motivates me, and it just makes it where it becomes easier to save up for upgrades for this thing. You guys have helped me so much, and I really greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, so if you haven't checked out that last video, definitely go ahead and do it. It shows off this bad boy. Really, I kind of wanted to hone in on this Hellcat Supercharger. A lot of guys are looking into this, and I know we touched on it a little bit in the last video, but I kind of want to go over, was this the better option of many of the options out there? You have the 3-liter Whipple out there, you have the Magnuson, the Edelbrocks, and stuff like that. And was it worth it?
I'm gonna say yes. I mean, you can't beat a Supercharger one, right? Or for a Hellcat one, right?
So one of the biggest complaints that every time I load up a video of a Supercharger, a Hellcat Supercharger up on a 392 or a 5.7, is it does not whine. Right. Okay, so does this thing whine?
It absolutely does whine. What a lot of the issues, what people do is, this is the front fascia for a Hellcat, so front assembly, I should say. So you're actually getting a whine. You're still having, obviously the MMX adapter plate, so you have to have, but the front assembly is how it's going to whine for you. But I mean, if you can get the Supercharger in the front front assembly,
So I was under the impression that when guys do this, they don't have forged internals and they're not running enough boost for it to whine. Is that something, like when you had a stock 392, put the blower on, was it whining?
It whined. But now it whines a lot more because obviously we up the boost. But
so even with 5 pounds of boost, it was still whining. Yep. For you. Okay.
It was, when I had the stock exhaust, you could really hear it. Now, since obviously Corsa Extreme, it's in catless mids, it's super loud, but you can still hear it. It whines more.
From a financial standpoint, did you think it was worth it? Is it equal?
So I would say if you're able to get a blower fairly cheap.
What's cheap? Like 2,500, 5,000?
If you can get a blower less than $2,000, and you find a guy that's parted out and giving you injectors and fuel rails, you can get all that together for $2,000. Yeah, absolutely. But if you're going to be paying more, if you're trying to get everything brand new, just go with a Whipple or a ProCharger, Magnuson, or something like that, because you're going to spend probably $5,000 to $6,000 more than you really want to, kind of piecing everything together.
Gotcha. Okay. Supercharger. What are we in for here? Like to do something like this, because this is a dream build for many guys out there.
I'm probably all in with motor built and everything. I'm right at 15 grand. Okay. All in, which isn't terrible. Because I actually, instead of going with the heat exchanger from the Hellcat, I actually did a killer chiller. My goal right now, obviously, it's very limited on the HP70. Here in the next year, I really want to do either build. Are
you having any issues right now with it?
Is it
bogging or something?
It bogs every kind of that bogging slip feeling every once in a while. So it's right now it's what's gonna be better, building the HP70 that's in this or going to HP90.
Dude, you're in the same boat as me. I'm now looking into the HP90. Or going a built 70. Everybody's telling me go HP90. Yeah, it's gonna give you the highest ceiling. You'll be able to, even with a stock one, you'll throw 900 wheel horsepower, no problem.
So my ultimate goal is to basically max it out on pump gas, because obviously, you know, you're here. Yeah,
I'm 93.
And E85, where I'm from, it's very hard to find. This is my everyday driver. If I'm gonna run E85, it's, you know, I'm gonna get 5 miles per gallon. I already get 10, so you know it's gonna be very tough to get E85 around the area. So I definitely want to keep it, you know, 800 max, kind of on pump gas is kind of where I've seen a lot of people.
So to really kind of wrap up the Hellcat blower, if someone's out there and they're looking into doing this conversion, is there any kind of like little piece of information that maybe would help them out in their process of gathering maybe the parts and putting it together? And
my number one thing, obviously, I looked on a whole bunch of Facebook groups, you know, Hemi parts for sale, Hellcat, Charger, Challenger.
So where to look for these parts is key, right?
Yeah.
Getting a good part for a decent price.
Yep. And then, you know, also check your local, you know, your local shops, you know, see if, you know, if they have any parts laying around, you know, when they do builds, because there's a lot of guys, when they get Hellcats, they rip that off, put a Magnus in, and then
they have like a ton of Hellcat blowers just laying around that they would be willing to sell for $1,500 or something.
Crankshaft and cam, it was just laying around, they weren't using it, and it obviously just helped with the upgrade.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you guys, this is one of the coolest builds. I mean, the what he's doing, he basically built a Hellcat, and you know, I don't know if the camera's picking it up. It looks absolutely gorgeous, you know. So, all right, any last words?
That's it, man.
That's it, man. Enjoy your Mopars, guys, because I'll tell you, there's a lot of cool avenues that you can go with them.
They didn't think we'd be doing this shit.
For real, but fuck it. Let's get it.
I used to pray to stay out of the cuffs that held my hands together. Now I just rock with the gang while we get the green together.